that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittany Griner says, white girl.
Just when it seemed like the WNBA was finally ready to appreciate the golden goose that single-handedly dragged the league out of irrelevance, we get hit with one of the most blatant displays of hypocrisy the sport's seen in years. And front and center in this circus? Brittany Griner, acting like the surge of fans packing arenas to see Caitlin Clark is some kind of issue instead of the miracle the league's been praying for.
Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. She says WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now it's like there's large gatherings of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score, like we're there for their entertainment. You are! The whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either my performance or some...
But here's where it gets beautiful, folks. Stephen A. Smith, the man who's been shouting from the mountaintop about Caitlin Clark's true value while everyone else tiptoed around politics, has finally hit his breaking point. And when Stephen A. loses patience, the entire sports world gets a reality check so sharp it could make a college professor tear up out of pure vindication.
With joy.
To be honest with you folks, the WNBA already set a precedent. It doesn't matter what Brittany Griner said. It doesn't matter what Brittany Griner said, because they've already shown us they don't need evidence, they don't need substance, they don't need any type of proof at all to launch a bogus investigation into Indiana Fever fans, so they shouldn't need any substance, any basis, any evidence to launch an investigation into any other fan, any other player, any other group. The WNBA set.
If you've been following Stephen A. Smith's WNBA coverage over the past year, you've witnessed a man simmering toward what can only be described as a volcanic eruption of common sense. This isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about a league actively tripping over its own progress. You're watching an organization so tangled in ego and politics that it's willing to sabotage its own success rather than admit one rookie, Caitlin Clark, completely changed.
Brittany Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about. Especially something like this. Fans in every sport. She described the fan.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena.
And this tension has been brewing for months. Maybe even since the very moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court and instantly became the most impactful player the league has ever seen. While half the league treated her like some basketball tourist who accidentally stumbled into their world, Stephen A. Smith was out there dropping truth bombs so undeniable they'd make a mathematician weep from the precision.
We know this. Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, and Indiana led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from the year earlier. 319%. 319%. All other teams still grew by double-digit percentages. So let's not forget that. But they didn't grow by 319%. That was Caitlin Clark, which means she's largely responsible for the overall league attendance records. Merchandise sales were also up 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics, and Clark was the top-selling player and is fifth among athletes across all...
We'll find out. We don't know yet, Stephen A. Smith said when asked about Caitlin Clark's impact on WNBA ratings, but you could hear the subtext loud and clear. He's watching closely, waiting to see just how deep this truth runs. Because if there's a massive drop-off the moment Clark isn't on the court, then it's time for everyone to stand down and face reality. It's like watching someone complain about being broke while ignoring a pot of gold sitting right.
This is the magnetic traction that draws viewers to the WNBA, and her absence over the next 2 weeks due to that quad strain is providing further evidence of that. Then everybody needs to accept it, stand down, and ride that wave. I'm going to be really interested in seeing how the ratings are going to look without her over the next 2 weeks. Let's make sure we come back and ask me this exact same question after she's been gone for those 2 weeks.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe, because it's time to talk numbers, and clearly some folks in the WNBA front office could use both a calculator and a reality check. Games featuring Caitlin Clark this season have averaged 1.178 million viewers. Games without her? A mere 394,000. That's not just a difference. It's a 199% gap, wide enough to drive a freight train straight through. To make it even simpler for the mathematically challenged executives out there, Clark's games pull in 3 times the audience of the rest of the league. 3 times. When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, she didn't just join a team, she became a one-woman economic stimulus package. The season opener between Clark's Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky pulled 2.7 million viewers on ABC, becoming the most watched WNBA game ever on ESPN platforms.
Ever.
And also, news just came out. Ratings are higher than it's ever been for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Congrats to Caitlin Clark. It's crazy how that works.
I mean, you know, what are you going to do? Proof's in the pudding, kind
Get a girl out of Iowa.
Exactly.
Who can pull up from the state next door.
Yeah.
And light up an entire arena, every arena.
But this is where Stephen A. Smith's frustration truly hits a boiling point. Instead of the WNBA brass falling to their knees and thanking the basketball gods for delivering the biggest gift the league has ever received, we got lukewarm press releases and generic social media posts. It's like they were embarrassed by their own success, too proud or too scared to admit that one player could change everything. Stephen A. watched it unfold in real time. He's seen Caitlin Clark shatter viewership records, sell out arenas, and single-handedly drag the WNBA into mainstream relevance, while certain players and pundits acted like she hadn't earned an ounce of the spotlight. And now, that slow burn of frustration is about to turn into a full-blown eruption.
Now I've taken hits because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her, but it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine. This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie.
Now enter Brittany Griner, a longtime WNBA veteran who's seen it all: empty seats, quiet crowds, and years of fighting for attention. Then Caitlin Clark shows up and suddenly the league is buzzing. Every game's a sellout. Every broadcast's a headline. And instead of celebrating the surge, some players sound more annoyed than inspired. It's like complaining that your house is finally too warm after spending years freezing in the cold. And Stephen A. Smith isn't having it. He's been pointing out from day one that this influx of attention, sponsorships, and chartered flights didn't appear out of thin air. It came because one player shifted the entire equation. The frustration comes from watching parts of the league act resentful toward the very success they've been chasing for decades.